Good morning, dear students. So, today we will be studying the next concept in the module 4, that is the page replacement. So, the first question is why page replacement is needed. So, when there is no free frame list and you want to bring a particular page into the main memory from the secondary memory, and you see that all the frames are already allocated or already filled, then you need to replace a particular page by the new page. Otherwise, you need to terminate a particular process. So if there is no free space or a free frame, then you have to terminate the entire process. So instead of terminating the particular process, what you can do is you can just swap out or remove a particular page which is not in use or which is not required by the operating system, and bring such a page into the main memory which is actually required by the operating system. So you can swap out or you can remove a page which is not in use and bring the particular page into the main memory. So this page replacement, it is going to take some of the approaches. So suppose if the frame is not free, then we need to find the one that is not currently being used and free it. So we have to search for such a frame which is not required or which is not currently used. Then we have to choose such a frame and we have to free it. Then we can free a frame by writing its contents to swap space and changing the page table to indicate that the page is no longer required in the memory. So use we can use the freed frame to hold the page, and also we can modify the page fault by making use of following steps, that is the working of a page replacement algorithm. First, what we are going to do is we are going to find the location of the desired page on the disk, which means that which page you need to bring. So you have to find that page, that is the finding the location of the desired page on the disk. Secondly, find a frame in the main memory. So if there is a free frame, then you can make use of it. If there is no free frame, in such case use page replacement algorithm in order to select the victim frame. So write a victim frame to the disk and change the page and the frame table. Now coming to the third point, that is the read the desired page into the newly newly freed frame and change the page and update the frame table. Coming to the fourth point, that is restart the user process. So these are some of the steps that has to be taken into account while working on the page replacement algorithm. So coming to this diagram, so as you can observe, this is a page replacement diagram, and there is a physical memory and there is a page table which comprises of two fields, that is first field is the frame and second field is the invalid bit. So firstly, in the first step, what happens, we are going to page out the victim page. So victim page is nothing but it is such a page which you want to remove from the main memory. So after swapping out the victim page, the second step is we have to change to invalid in the page table, means that that page has to be marked as invalid in the page table with respect to a particular with respect to a particular process. So in the third step, we are going to swap the desired page in. So we are going to swap the desired page to that location, and in the fourth step again we are going to update or we are going to reset the page table for the new page to enter or arrive. So this is the page replacement uh, diagram which you can observe. So coming to the victim page and modify bit. So the page that is supported by the physical memory is called as the victim page. So victim page is such a page which you want to remove from the main memory, that is called as a victim page. So if no frames are free, then we are going to, then two page transfers are required. One will be uh, out and one will be in. So out and in, these are the two page transfers when no frames are free. So when you are replacing a particular page while bringing a new page into the main memory, you have to write back the already existing page. So you have to write back the already existing page, but you can say that it will be a overhead. So how you can overcome this, or how you can reduce the overhead? So in order to reduce the overhead, we are going to make use of a modify bit. So here each page and frame will be having modify bit which will be associated with it in the hardware. So if this modify bit of a particular page is set, then it indicates that the page has been modified. And while replacing the page, you need to write back that page to the secondary memory. Suppose if the modify bit is not set, then it is going to indicate that the page is not modified, and we need not write the page to the memory as it is already present in the memory. So by using modify bit, we can overcome, or we can reduce the overhead problem. So in order to reduce the number of page faults, number of frames must be more. So in order to reduce the count of the page fault, so more number of frames should be there. So as I said that if the modify bit is set to 1, then the page has already been modified and such page must not be returned to the disk. But if the modify bit is set to 0, then the page has not been modified. That is the meaning of setting the modify bit to 1 and 0. So this was about the victim page and the modify bit. So now coming to the page replacement algorithms. So there are three important page replacement algorithm. First one is the FIFO algorithm, that is the first in first out algorithm. Second one is the optimal algorithm, and third one is the LRU, that is the least recently used algorithm. So let's see all the three algorithms one by one. So coming to the first one, that is the first in first out algorithm. So we can call this is the simplest page replacement algorithm. So in this what happens, the page which is entered first will be replaced first. In simple words we can say that that is first in and first out, as the name indicates, whichever the page has entered first will be replaced first. That is called as a first in first out algorithm. So let's consider the following reference string which comprises of 70120 and so on. So these are the this is the reference string, and we need to consider three frames, and initially the frames are empty. So there won't be any frames available uh, in the uh, so there won't be any pages available in the frame. So all the frames will be empty. So in the first frame we are going to add 7. Since the first frame is empty, so we are going to bring the page number 7 from the hard disk, and we are going to store it in the memory. So this 7 is bought from the hard disk, so we can call that this first frame is a page fault. So page fault, why we say page fault? Because whatever the CPU is demanding page number 7, it is not available in the frame, and we are getting it from the from the hard disk to the main memory. So it is marked as a page fault. Now similarly, after adding 7, now you have to insert 0, that is page number 0. So page number 0 is also not available in the frame, so we are going to get it from the hard disk. So that's why even second frame is considered as a page fault. Now comes to the frame number 1. So 1 is also not available in this, so even page number 1 will be bought from the hard disk, and it will be stored in the main memory. So now we can observe that our frame is full, that is 701. So the frames are full. Now we need to add second, that is reference number 2 into the frame, and as you can observe there is no space. Now this is the time where the FIFO algorithm comes into picture. Now you have to replace any one of the page. So which page has to be removed? Now as I said that first in first out, whichever the page has come first, that has to be replaced, and 7 was the first page which was entered, so 7 will be replaced with 2. Now in place of 7, 2 will be added, that is 201. Now coming to the next reference string, that is the 0. So 0 is already present, that is 201. So 0 is already present in the frame, so there is no need of getting this page number 0 from the hard disk. So we can call that 201 is a page hit. We can say that means whatever the CPU is demanding a particular page, this it is already available in the memory, so it is called as a page hit, otherwise it is called as a page fault. Now the reference number 3. Now 3 has to be added, and similarly there is no free space. As you can see, 201 is already occupied. Now we have to replace uh, now we need to replace any one of the this page. So which page has to be replaced? So it will be replaced with 0, because 0 was the next after 7. 0 was the first page which was entered first, so 0 will be replaced with 3. So 231, and even this will be marked as a page fault because 3 was not available in the frame. Now coming to the reference 0, since 0 is also not available, we are going to get the page number 0 from the hard disk, and we are going to store into the main memory. So which page has to be replaced? So after 0, 1 is the 1 is the page which has entered first, so 1 will be replaced with 0. Now coming to the page number 4. So page number 4, as you can observe, even 230 is already occupied. There is no space for the page 4 to sit in the frame. So which page has to be replaced? So 2 will be replaced by 4, so 430, and this will be marked as page fault. Now coming to the page number 2. So page number 2, even page number 2, so page number 3 will be replaced with 2, because page number 3 is the oldest one, or you can say that it is the one which was entered first, so 3 will be replaced 2, so that is 420, and it will be marked as a page fault. Next is a reference string is 3. So similarly 420 is already filled. Now there is no place for the 3 to sit, so we are going to replace 0 with 3, that is 423, and this will be marked as a page fault. Now coming to the page number 0. So page number 0 is also not available, and we have to get it from the hard disk, and we have to store it into this frame. So 4 page number 4 will be replaced with 0, so 0 will take place of the 4, that is 0 to 3. Now next is the reference number 3. So now you can observe in the previous frame, that is 0 to 3, 3 is already present, so you don't have to bring again the page number 3 from the hard disk. So 3 is already present in the memory, so it will be treated as a page hit. Now similarly for the page number 2. So as you can observe, even page number 2 is available in the main memory. So this is called as a page hit. Now coming to the reference string, that is 1. So in the reference string 1, uh, uh, so there is no any page number 1 present in the memory, so it has to be brought from the hard disk into the main memory. So page number 2 will be replaced with the 1, since page number 2 is the oldest one, or you can say page number 2 was the one which was entered first. So it will be replaced with 1 will be replaced with 2, so that is 0 1 3, and it will be marked as a page fault. Now similarly for the page number 2, so page number 2 is also not available, so we have to get page number 2 from the hard disk and we have to store it, and this time page number 3 will be replaced with page number 2, since page number 3 is the oldest page and that has to be replaced with the page number 2. Now coming to the next reference string, that is the 0. So 0 is already present, that is the 0 1 2. So 0 1 2, 0 is already present, so you don't have to get page number 0 from the hard disk. So keep it as it is, that is 0 1 2, or you can leave it as blank and mark it as a page hit. Page hit means what? Page hit means what? The whatever the CPU is demanding, the page, it is already present in the memory. Now coming to the page number 1. So yeah, page number 1 is also available, that is 0 1 2. So you don't have to get it from the hard disk, so this will be marked as a page hit. Now coming to the page number 7. So our all the 3 frames are completely filled. Now we have to replace, now we have to bring 7 into the frame. So which number will be replaced? So 0 is the oldest page and 0 will be replaced with 7. So 7 1 2, and it will be marked as a page fault. Now next page is page number 0. So page number 0 is also not available in the frame, so you have to get it from the hard disk and we have to store it into this memory. So that is, this time we are going to replace 1 with 0, because 1 is the oldest page and it will be replaced by 0, that is 702, and it will be marked as a page fault. Now coming to the last page, that is page number 1. So page number 1 is also not available in the memory, so you have to get it from the hard disk and we have to store it in the frame. That is, so this 1 will take place of a 2, so 2 will be the oldest page, or the page which is entered first, and it will be replaced with 1, that is 701, and it will be marked as a page fault. So so totally uh, so totally we will be getting 15 page faults in the first in first out algorithm. So here the simple logic is, you are going to uh, you are going to replace a oldest page, or the page which has entered first will be replaced first. That is the logic behind the first in first out algorithm. Now coming to the next one, that is the optimal page replacement algorithm. So we can say that this optimal page replacement algorithm has got the lowest page fault rate of when compared to other algorithms. So here the logic behind this optimal page algorithm is, we are going to replace a page that will not be used for the longest period of time. So means we are going to replace the page that is not used for a longer period of time. So we have to search page in forward direction. So let's take one example with the same reference string. So the first three references, as I said that the first three references will be empty and it is going to cause page fault. So that is 770701. So these three references, it is going to result in the page fault. Now coming to the page number 2. So now page number 2 has to be inserted into this frame, and the frame is already full. Now 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 we have to replace any one of the frame. So as I said that you have to replace such a page which is not used for a longest period of time. So we have to search it in a forward direction. So if you check in the forward direction, you can get to know that 7 is the page which is not going to be used for a longer period of time. So replace 7 by 2, that is 201, and this will be marked as a page fault. Now coming to the page number 0. So page number 0 is already available, that is 201. So 0 is already available in the main memory, so we don't have to get it from the main memory. So this frame will be, that is frame 0, will be marked as a page hit. Now coming to the next page, that is page number 3. Now page number 3 has to be replaced. So which number has to be replaced? We are going to replace such a page that is not used for a longer period. So just search in the forward direction. If you search in the forward direction, you will get to know that 1 is the page that is not used for a very longer period of time. So replace 1 with 3, that is the 20203. Now coming to the page number 0. So page number 0 is already available, that is 203. So there is no need of replacing. So just mark page number 0 as a page hit. Now coming to the page number 4. Now page number 4 has to be replaced. Now which page has to be replaced? So as you can observe, 0 is the one page that is not used for a very longer period of time. So replace 0 with 4. Now it will be 243, and it will be marked as a page uh, page fault. So similarly it goes on till all the reference strings are completed, and here the number of page faults what we will be getting is n. We will be getting is 9. 9 is the number. 9 page faults will be occurring in the optimal page algorithm, and we can say that optimal page replacement algorithm is much better than the FIFO algorithm, because in FIFO algorithm, as you can remember, we got 15 page faults, whereas in optimal page we got only 9 page faults. So this optimal page algorithm is better than when compared to the FIFO algorithm. Now coming to the next algorithm, that is the LRU algorithm, least recently used algorithm. So here we are going to replace the page that has not been used for a longest period of time, and a search has to be done in the backward direction. So in optimal search, what we did, we used to search in a forward direction. In uh, in LRU we are going to check for the pages in the backward direction. So it says that it is going to predict such a page that has not been used in the longest time in the coming future. And let's take one example with the same string. So there are the number of frames taken is 3, and the first 3 frames will result into page fault, because those pages has to be brought from the hard disk into the main memory. So the first 3 frames will be marked as a page faults. Now coming to the page number 2. Now page number 2 has to be stored in this memory, but the question is how we are going to store, since all the 701 is already completely filled. There is no space for the page number 2 to take its place. As I said that we have to search it in a backward direction, and you can observe 7 is one such number which has been not used in a very longest period of time. So we are going to replace 7 with the page number 2. So that is 7 is replaced with the 2, that is 201 will be the uh, number, and it will be marked as a page fault, since 2 is not available in the memory. Now coming to the page number 0. So as you can observe, page number 0 is already available, that is 201. So you don't have to get it from the hard disk. So So this will be marked as a page hit. Whichever the page is already present in the main memory, that will be called as a page hit. Now coming to the page number 3. So page number 3 is not present in the main memory, so it has to be brought from the hard disk, and it will be marked as a page fault. Now the question is, which page has to be replaced? So 1 is such a number that is not being used in a very longest period of time. So we are going to replace 1 with 3. So we will be getting 203 as the number, that is 203 will be marked as a page fault. Now coming to the page number 0. So page number 0 is already present, that is 203. So it is already present, so you don't have to get the page number 0 from the hard disk. So just simply retain it as it is, or you can leave it blank and mark it as a page hit. So similarly, this process continues, and we are going to replace such a page which has been not used in a very longest period of time, and we are going to search the page in a backward direction, and the number of page faults which will be occurring in LRU is 12. So 12 page faults will be occurring in the least recently used page algorithm. So coming to the next concept, that is the allocation of frames. So when there are multiple process, how we are going to allocate frames to a to a particular process, that is the question. So in any aspect, as you can observe, like performance is the main reason for allocating minimum number of frames. So performance plays a very important role, and performance is one such reason for allocating a minimum number of frames. So, and as the number of frames allocated to the each process decreases, the page fault rate increases. uh, so the page fault rate is going to increase when the number of frames allocated will decrease, and it is going to make the execution speed very slow. When a page fault occurs before executing instruction is complete, the instruction must be restarted. Means if the page fault is going to it is going to take place before executing any instruction, then instruction has to be restarted again. So the easiest way for splitting frames among the processes is given by the formula, that is m divided by n frames. Suppose, let's take one example. Suppose there are 93 frames and there is 5 process. So each process is going to get 18 frames. How 18 frames you are going to get is, as I said, that m divided by n is the formula. So number of frames, m means number of frames. So here number of frames is 93 frames, and divided by number of process. So number of process is 5, that is 93 divided by 5 will give me 18. So each process is going to get 18 frames, and whatever the 3 leftover frames, it can be used as a free frame buffer pool. And this whole scheme is called as a equal allocation. So the alternative for this is, we can use a proportional allocation, in which we are going to allocate only the available memory to each processes according to the size of the process, that is the proportional allocation. Now coming to the global versus local allocation. So the page replacement algorithm, it can be broadly classified or categorized into two, that is the global replacement and local replacement. So what is global replacement? So it basically, it allows a process to replace a frame from the set of other frames, even if the frame is currently allocated to some other processes, uh, to some other process, which means that one process can take can take a frame from another. That is nothing but a global replacement. Coming to the local replacement, here local replacement means replacement occurs with respect to the frame which is allocated to a particular process. But the problem with the global replacement algorithm is that the process cannot it cannot control its own page fault rate, since allocated frames will be replaced by some other frames, so it doesn't have control over on its page fault rates. And this global replacement, it is going to result in a greater system throughput, and therefore we can say that it is more common method uh, which is made use, that is the global replacement approach. So now coming to the next concept, that is nothing but a it's a thrashing. So what is thrashing? So technically speaking, if you want to say that the high paging activity is called as a thrashing, which means that the process spends more time on paging rather than on the executing. Now after knowing what is thrashing, we should know like why thrashing happens, or what are the what are the causes for thrashing. So as we know that the operating system, it is going to monitor the CPU utilization. So if the CPU utilization is very low, we increase the degree of multi-programming by introducing new process to the system. Okay, so if you want to say uh, technically like what thrashing actually means, so it is a kind of a situation where the system is going to spend more time in paging rather than execution of a process. And thrashing is such a situation where a process is busy swapping the pages in and out. So suppose there is a main memory and a secondary memory, and based on the requirement of pages swap in and swap out, it is going to take place. So based on the requirement, or the based on the demand of the pages, swap in and swap out is going to take place. And we know that what it means, it is called as a demand paging. But the question is, if a process does not have enough pages for the execution, then the page fault is probably it is going to occur, and this page fault, it is going to result in the low CPU utilization. So the page fault, it is going to result in the low CPU utilization. And this operating system have to think about the degree of multi-programming should be increased, which means that operating system should bring more programs into the memory, and in turn this will lead to another process will be added to the system. And when the CPU utilization starts to decrease to almost zero, then the degree of multi-programming is increased, and this whole concept is called as thrashing. So this is the figure, or graph showing the thrashing. So as you can observe in the graph, so as the degree of multi-programming increases, so maximum is reached. And if this degree of multi-programming is increased further, then thrashing sets in, and CPU utilization, it is going to drop uh, sharply, or almost to zero. So at this point, in order to increase the CPU utilization, and to stop thrashing, we must increase the degree of multi-programming. So in order to increase the CPU utilization, and also in order to put a uh, put a full stop on thrashing, we have to increase the degree of multi programming. So this is the figure, or this is the graph which shows the thrashing. Now coming to the last concept of this video, that is the page fault frequency. So this thrashing has got a high page fault rate, and the process which has got high page fault rate, then that process needs more frame, we can say. So the whichever the process has got a high page fault rate, that process internally it needs more frames. So in order to so we have to control the page fault rate. So on the other hand, like, if the page fault rate is if the page fault rate is 2, then the process may have many frames. So we can establish a upper and lower bounds on the desired page uh, page fault rate. If the page fault rate it is going to cross the upper limit, then we need to allocate a process another frame. So if that page fault rate it is going to cross some upper limit, then we have to allocate that particular process with another frame. And if the page fault rate goes down below the lower limit, then we have to remove the frame, that particular frame, from the process. Thus we can have a control over the page fault, and we can measure and control the page fault rate by preventing thrashing. So this was about the page fault frequency. Thank you guys.